Welcome to the Krista Escamilla Show.
Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the Krista Escamilla Show. I hope that your day is going well. I hope that you are checking the things off your to-do list, or you're doing nothing and you're resting and listening to us by the pool. Either way, I hope that you are having a fantastic day today here in West Texas or beyond, wherever you're at traveling. I want to, first off, before we introduce our amazing guest, I do want to thank our sponsors because I'm so grateful for each and every one of you, just like I'm grateful for each and every listener. We wouldn't have a show without you, so thank you for your time today. Big shout out to Omni Midland Hotel, to Rig ID Workwear, Thin FR, The Preserve at Midland, to Midland Cap Company, to joincapclub.com, and the Laughlin Hotel. Support those local businesses however you can, but just support local wherever you're at, because supporting local is really supporting someone's dream. Like going to that amazing farmer's market in your local town. Go do that. That's always a Saturday morning well spent. So there's my shout out for local. And speaking of local, we have someone here with us today who's doing great things for our four-legged friends in our community. So I can't wait to share her story. Please welcome to the show, Devyn Daley. She is the founder and president of Permian Paws in Need. Devyn, thank you so much for being with us today.
Thank you for having me.
I'm excited to hear your story and find out about Permian Paws in Need. But first, I'd love to hear, how did you get to the Permian?
So, I am originally from the DFW area, and I went to Texas Tech from 13 to 17.
Go Red Raiders.
Wreck 'em. I was part of the Rawls College of Business. I studied energy commerce and was a landman for a few years. I met my husband. He did petroleum engineering at Tech as well, and he's from Pennsylvania.
Okay.
So he just kind of stayed down here after meeting
So he went to Tech? Okay, fantastic.
So we met, and he was there from 14 to 18.
Yeah.
And I just kind of had a job fall into my lap. I was living up in Amarillo for a year while he was finishing up school. And job kind of fell into my lap. He had gotten his apartment and was about to graduate and move in. And I was just like, hey, what do you think about moving in together? So the job was like, hey, how fast can you be here? And I said,
which a lot of them are here, right?
Yeah.
Right?
So I was like, let me give my company 2 weeks. And so I moved in before my boyfriend at the time did. And we've been down here ever since 2018. We got married in 2020. And we're just both still down here.
And raising family and doing all the things, oil and gas in Midland and West Texas.
Yes.
I love it. And how cool to be a landman. I love that. I'm especially right with everybody watching Landman right now. I'm sure you get asked all the time, are you, were you like Billy Bob Thornton? But that's fascinating that you went into that.
The number one thing that I always start off with when people ask me, so what's it like being a landman? Is it like the show? And the first thing I say is, well, to my knowledge, I've never dealt with the cartels. So
thank goodness. They had to throw a little Hollywood in there, right?
Exactly.
Just like Yellowstone isn't, I'm sure, what we all think it is, right?
Yes,
we would be very disappointed if we go to Yellowstone and Kevin Costner isn't there.
Exactly.
Right. Well, I think that how you got here is so cool and such a great story. What is it that has kept you here? Because I love hearing that as well.
Well, aside from the job, we have been able to create a really good group of friends that it's family. And animal rescue obviously also got involved very early on. I've been in animal rescue just like as a foster and a foster coordinator, and now, running this organization. I've been involved since 2019.
Okay.
So I did a few years fostering for various rescues out here. A lot of them are foster based, so they need people to foster in order to pull those animals from the shelter and off the streets. I then spent from 2020 to 2023 serving as foster coordinator for one of the rescues.
Great.
And then at that point, we actually went through some fertility challenges. I was making a lot of out-of-town trips. Couldn't really dedicate the time that I had been, and so I tried doing nothing. And once you spend so long doing it, you can't just go from 90 miles an hour to nothing.
Yes, I get
that. So that's kind of how I came up with this idea. So we are a mobile pantry. And so we operate out of a cargo trailer, and we go into those underserved areas. And that all started just from seeing people posting that they needed help with pet food.
I love that. So that's how Permian Paws and Need came to be, was you saw the need out there. And anyone that has our precious four-legged friends, you know how expensive that those costs, they can be, everything from food.
And all it takes is, the breadwinner of your family having a heart attack and being put in the hospital, or your car getting into an accident, or the transmission going out, and your paycheck then goes, from what it was budgeted to repairing that, and people's paychecks get cut short when they miss work and things like that, and before you know it, they're trying to juggle and stretch, and they just need a little help, and they don't want to have to give up their pets.
That's right. Well, how did you get started? Because I think I love the concept of the mobile unit, because I don't know if that's common, if that's new, if that is just like something you thought of and we're like, hey, let's just try this out. But I love the concept. You're taking it to them instead of them having to come to you, correct?
So part of what it started out as was a lot of my friends, they're doing the rescue part, they're fostering, they're, doing transports, they're, finding adopters and everything like that. And so me starting this, I had the support of my friends and my family and everything, but I didn't have a lot of like hands-on volunteers, assistants, things like that. So I needed something that I could kind of schedule around my schedule. Yeah. I was working, I had the fertility trips out of town, things like that. And so I needed something that I could just schedule out, have plans for, and that also wasn't a lot of money. So because starting out as an organization with nothing, I started in my garage, and so I didn't want people coming to the house.
Smart.
My husband was like, please don't invite strangers to the house.
Don't make it an open garage. Right.
So I said, what about a trailer? Yeah. And I was like, I've got an expedition, I had an expedition at the time. So I was like, I have an expedition. I can pull it. I can pull a trailer.
I love it.
I can do that. That's not hard.
I can do that. Yeah.
And then my husband goes, can you back up a trailer? And I was like, well, I don't need to do that.
I'll just go forward. That's what I would have said. Oh, I don't need to back up.
I spent the first 6 to 9 months strategically parking in parking lots to where I would pull through so I wouldn't have to back up the trailer.
Right.
And then I would pull it to the house, and then I'd make him back it up into the driveway.
See, everything's figure outable.
But then fast forward, I eventually had to learn. And so
good job,
I got more comfortable with it. Now, now I'm always like, our trailer's 14 feet. Sometimes, depending on the distribution week, I have to like reload the trailer because it's a single axle, and I'm like, how much bigger could I get? Can I stretch for an 18 or a 20?
Right.
And then I'm asking my husband, hey, can my car pull a 20-foot trailer?
Right.
And he's looking at me like I have 3 heads.
He's like, no. But I love that you're dreaming big and thinking big, because that means you're helping more people.
Yes.
And I think that is fantastic. Let's talk about what have some of the challenges been in starting something new, right?
Yeah.
Switching gears from landman to out helping others with their pets. That's a big transition. What were some things that, if someone's thinking of starting a 501c, like they would go, oh yeah, don't forget this.
Well, the most important part and the not very fun part is your paperwork. And I am not a tax person. I am not a paperwork person. I am not an accounting person. That I have completely left up to my husband. He's the numbers person. He's the engineer. And I had him help me with my 501c3 paperwork. So we got that submitted to the IRS first of all. Yeah. We submitted that in September 2023. I started getting that approval in October, November. Got my approval from the IRS. Got my approval from the state for tax exemptions. And then from there, I was really wanting to get going before we started before we started like the holiday season.
Right.
Because the holiday season is another time where people, their, wallets are stretched and everything like that. And so
That
one
makes
of the
sense.
things that I wanted to do, so I partnered with, it was actually Midland Animal Shelter Adoptables. They were holding a free vaccine clinic. I think it was like the weekend after Thanksgiving. And so I partnered with them. And that first event, I had little 1-gallon bags of food. And I gave them out. If people needed food, they were diverted at the end of the vaccine clinic to me. And we gave out 400 pounds of food that day.
Wow. Good for you.
And that was kind of our launch, the
Yes.
very 1st of December 2023. And from then on out, we've consistently increased the amount that we give out. And in 2025, we hit over 20,000 pounds of product distributed.
That's amazing. Let's talk about some of the other things. Of course, food is a big one. What are some of the other ways that you're helping these Permian animals that are in need?
So we provide cat litter as we receive it. If we receive dog collars, leashes, things like that, food bowls, crates. If we don't have it, we don't have it. But if we do and someone says they need it, we try to make sure we either bring it along. We can't bring the whole shop with us in the trailer, but we try to accommodate where we can, meet up, outside of our events and try to get that to them. We also provide educational material. So each of our bags of food has our label on it.
Mm-hmm.
So we use 2-gallon bags and 1-gallon bags from HEB. They've been our bag sponsor for the last couple of years.
Great.
So we use their Texas Tough Ziploc bags. I guess they're not Ziploc bags, but zipper bags.
Yes, those are that's great. That's perfect.
So we use that. So we've got their logo on there. We've got our logo on there. We put the brand and flavor of the dog food or cat food. And then the other thing that we include is QR codes. So we have a QR code that goes to our website, a QR code that goes to our event page and our Facebook page. And the one that goes to our website actually goes directly to our resources page. And on there, we have information on responsible pet ownership. So the importance of vaccinating, the importance of spay-neuter, all of those things and how they contribute to the welfare of your animal and the importance of keeping them up to date on all of that.
Wow, I think that's amazing. That is a great way for people to find you, right?
Mm-hmm.
Is there a way for them to know where you're going to be, or how, besides the QR codes, like if they just went, oh, I am in need right now, I'm in a pinch, how do I get your services?
Yes. So what they do is we're very active on Facebook.
Okay.
We do have an Instagram, but I don't know, I guess I'm maybe a little on the older side. I don't navigate Instagram too well, but I try. But so we're primarily
and
on
you're
Facebook.
very young, by the way. I need to find out what the official cutoff is, where people, because you hear the young people, right? They're all like, oh, I'm on Instagram. What is this Facebook? And then it seems like there is a switch over at some point, right?
Yes.
But I get it. Yeah, Instagram does seem more for the youngins.
Yes.
Yes.
But so we are very active on Facebook, so a lot of people find us through there. Word of mouth is another big one, how people find out about us.
Yes.
But we're on a lot of the pet pages out here, such as Pet Detectives, Lost and Found pages, things like that.
Great.
And so we have that, and then the events page. People can, go to our events page, and we've got a full Google Calendar on there. So if I ever have to make any changes, cancellations, reschedules, I post it on there. I send an email blast to our existing clients, and then we make Facebook and social media posts.
Fantastic.
And so, yeah.
I love it. You have a big fundraiser coming up, and we're going to talk about it in just a second.
Yes.
But first, we do something called Quote of the Day. And so I'm going to have you pull out of our quote bowl. And just want to remind everyone, we're sitting here today in Midland, Texas with Devyn Daley. She is the founder and president of Permian Paws in Need, and is doing just amazing work for our four-legged friends and helping to make food a little more affordable for those in need, because it does get very expensive. So what did you get?
I got leader.
Yes, because you are a leader. I love that. I love that. What does your quote say?
So it says, before you are a leader, success is all about growing yourself. When you become a leader, success is all about growing others. Jack Welch.
Oh, what does that mean to you?
I think you have to put your best foot forward when you're a leader. You lead by example. And so if you're not doing what you need to be doing, how are others supposed to know what they need to be doing?
I love that. I love that. Do you have a favorite quote that you live by?
Yes. It would probably be, don't look back. You're not going that way.
I love that one. We actually have that sign out front
Oh, really?
in our store. When you walk in, you will see
I didn't
that.
even see
Yes.
it.
When you leave, you'll have to look on the desk. I love that. And really, what has that meant to you? Like, I love that quote. That's fantastic.
What I really like about it is like you're never gonna go further and push yourself further if you're always worried about what happened in the past.
That's right.
So.
That's right. Perfect. Great quote. Let's talk, speaking of looking ahead and going forward, let's talk about August 15th. You have a fantastic fundraiser that's coming up. Tell us all the details and how people can get involved.
So we've got our second annual Bags for Bowls Cornhole Tournament and Benefit Concert. It is at Rooster's Backyard over in Greenwood. This year we've got a slew of artists performing. We're starting off with with a local artist named Truman Stack. Okay. He's playing an acoustic show. Then we'll have up and coming artist Gatlin Johnson play, and then we'll be headlining the event with the Logan Ryan Band, and they are They're making a lot of waves in the Texas country scene right now.
Ooh, exciting! I'll have to go put them on Spotify and see and check them out. That's fantastic.
As a DFW girl and as a Fort Worth girl, 95.9 The Ranch is kind of my go-to thing, and they are blowing up. Anytime we're back home, I hear them on the radio nonstop. So they are very big.
And that's huge. They're coming here. I love that. Fantastic. So to be in the cornhole tournament, what does it cost? Or can you buy tickets for the concert?
Yeah.
What does that look like?
So we've got team registration is $150 per team. That includes your 2 general admission tickets into the concert. If you're not into playing cornhole, or maybe you just want to be there for the music, we've got our VIP is sold out, but we do have a handful of lawn tables still available. And then we've got general admission tickets. The lawn tables are currently $250 a table, and they seat 6. And then the general admission tickets are $25 ahead of schedule, or ahead of time, and $35 day of.
Okay, perfect. So I think this is a great way for you to, if you haven't heard of Permian Paws in Need before, this is a great way for you to jump in and donate. Of course, they will take donations all year long.
Yes.
But they have a fantastic website. If you'd like to go and look at it, you can find out everything from vaccinations to, when you can get your pet spayed neutered, and then also where they're going to be, and then also about the big fundraiser. So go check it out online and go ahead and give it, it's Permian.
It's Permian Paws inneed.org.
There you go. Well, fantastic. Let's talk a little bit about success stories, because if someone right now is sitting and listening at home and they're like, I just because all the proceeds, I'm sure, of your fundraiser go right back to the pets.
Yes.
Let's talk some success stories of the people that you've talked to that just got, are so grateful for what you're doing for them.
So we've been able to help a multitude of people out over the years. We've gotten I launched a software system last May, and we've now had that system, up and going for about a year now, a little over. And we've got over 400 clients in our system. Wow. Every month we see about 10 to 20 new clients, give or take. And a lot of these clients, sometimes we see them once and we never see them again. Sometimes they are elderly, disabled, and we see them fairly consistently. Our goal is to give 1 week's worth of food, but we hold events every 2 weeks. That way we don't become a permanent source, or people take advantage and then don't have to buy food for their pets at all.
Right.
Our goal is to be temporary and supplemental, so we're there to bridge that gap.
Yes.
And so we've had a lot of people that have needed our services, and then they've come back and they've wanted to donate. They've come back and they've wanted to volunteer, and we've got a lot of people that they're just they're heavily invested in us.
Yes.
Because we invest in them.
I'm so proud of you for doing this. It really is. It's was such a need, hence the name. It was such a need, and you're filling it, and I love that. And so I want to ask you, obviously you're a big animal lover, right?
Yes.
To jump into this. Tell me, what is the biggest life lesson you've learned from an animal or a four-legged friend?
Oh gosh. Probably trust.
That's a good one.
Yes.
Yes. Because, Yeah,
I've
that's
taken
huge.
I've taken on hundreds of dogs and the occasional cat in my several years of fostering. I actually have 2 6-week-old puppies at my house right now.
What kind?
I'm thinking they're some sort of little Chihuahua mix.
I bet they're precious.
They are. It's a boy and a girl. And so I've got them at my house right now, and they're just full of life and spunk and just happy-go-lucky.
Yes.
But over the years, I've had hundreds of dogs come through my house, ranging from pregnant mothers that give birth that were out on the streets and, they either needed to be trapped or, they didn't trust, they didn't come up willingly, all the way up to terminal seniors that were, surrendered to the shelter. And then I've had everything in between. So illnesses, eye inoculations, limb amputations, everything like that. I've had everything in between.
Wow.
And so one of my dogs, he's actually the one foster fail that I've had. And foster fail, if you don't know, it's a good term.
Okay, I was going to ask. I don't know what that is. Okay.
Foster fail means they were your intended foster, meaning they're supposed to leave you and go find a family of their own, and they end up staying with you.
Oh, okay.
So you failed it. You failed at fostering them.
You failed at launching because you loved them so much they stayed and you kept them.
Yes, and I got him as a 6-week-old puppy.
Aww.
And he had a massive chemical burn down his back. He was found on the side of the road next to his deceased sibling, and his neck was all swollen. He had lacerations that were infected, and just really pitiful puppy. He would tense up anytime you tried holding him, and he had pneumonia, and it was the middle of July. So don't know how he got pneumonia, but he just didn't trust. Yeah. And so he would tense up, he wouldn't make eye contact, and my dog spent 2 weeks circling his crate. And finally, after 2 weeks, that little tail started thumping.
Oh.
And so his name's Thumper.
Oh, that's so cute. I love it.
And
Perfect name.
He's a little awkward. He's a little wary of strangers, and he has a separation anxiety like no other from our Australian Shepherd.
Oh, so, they're besties.
Yes. Riggs, our Australian Shepherd, could care less. He's just about the people, and Thumper's like, where is Riggs?
Right.
So if they're separated, Thumper's having a meltdown.
Oh my goodness.
So, but
how
yes.
sweet. So I love another, and there's another success story right there. I love that. Let's give us some tips because I love giving some takeaways. If somebody is out in the community, they find a lost dog.
Yes.
That's always, I want to cover that. First thing that they should do. And then if someone loses their dog, first thing they should, or cat or animal, whatever it may be, what they should do.
Yeah, so the very first thing that someone should do if they find an animal is, if it's safe to do so, pick the animal up and take it to a local vet. The emergency vet clinics are usually open 24/7. If PetSmart or another pet store is open, you can take the pet there. Have them scan for a microchip. Microchipping is super important. It reunites a lot of animals with their owners. And if your pet is microchipped, make sure it's up to date.
I didn't know they go out of date.
Well, make sure it's up to date with your current information. Okay, so if your phone number's changed, if your address is changed, things like that. So being able to have that, we can then track down the owners and reunite them.
That makes sense now. I was like, okay. I was like, wait a minute, how do they go out of date? No, that makes sense. You move, and then they can't find you.
And microchips are not tracking devices. Okay. They don't provide a geographic location or anything like that. They just hold your personal information so people can get in contact with you. And I think that's another misconception with microchips.
Yes.
But getting them scanned, first of all, if you're able to hold the dog or cat safely, contain it separate from your own animals, just because you don't know if they've come into contact with a disease or with ticks or fleas, things like that. So if you've got a bathroom, a bedroom, somewhere where you can, quarantine them from your pets, holding them and then posting them on social media. Yeah. There's a lot of really great resources. West Texas Pet Detectives, you can reach out to the local rescues and see if they can post on your behalf, because they also have a large following of people. And worst case, taking them to, as sad as it is, taking them to the animal shelter. The municipal shelter serves a purpose for taxpayers. And so taking them there, they don't get immediately euthanized. They're not, it's not necessarily a bad thing. You're taking them off the street where they could otherwise get attacked. hit by a car, etc. The shelter, at least they will be safe, they will be fed, they will be taken care of, and they will also be posted on social media to try to find their owners.
Okay.
So
good, great tips there. Fantastic.
And then worst case, they become available for rescue or adoption.
Yeah.
So
Wonderful. What is the first thing you should do? Because this is the hardest part. When you do see a dog that's running through your neighborhood, you can tell they're scared. They're running super fast. They don't have an owner chasing them, I always try to be like, oh, come here, and I try to think of a cute dog name that I think that dog might be called,
Fluffy.
right? Fluffy, yeah. Come here, Fluffy, come here. And they don't come to me because they're scared. And so I'm like, is there something else? Like, is there a better way to do it? Or should you be, I thought about this the other day when this dog ran away from me. I thought I should have been nonchalant. And I wasn't nonchalant enough that's what the young kids say these days, nonchalant. So anyway, I was not nonchalant enough, and I was just like, come here, I wanted to help you.
So I think it really depends on the demeanor of the dog, because there's been some dogs that I've picked up off the streets, and I just say, hey. And the dog looks at me and comes running. Okay. And then there's some that they hear me say, hey, or, I try to approach it and they take off running. Okay. So it really just kind of depends on the animal's demeanor. Worst case, if they're getting themselves into a more dangerous situation, like a busy roadway, things like that, calling animal control to have an officer come out and look for them, because they have the experience and the equipment to safely contain and trap animals. So,
perfect. Yeah. Good advice. Wonderful. Again, we're sitting here today with Devyn Daley. She is the founder and president of Permian Paws in Need. We now have something called Question of the Day. Okay. And then we're going to get into some fun things about you. Perfect. So, yes. All right. What'd you get?
Honest. The only way to do great work is to love what you do. Steve Jobs.
Oh, another great quote. And I don't know how the quote got in the question bowl, but that's okay. I will take 2 quotes in one day, any day. But that would lead me to a good question, though. Why do you love what you do? Because I think that quote is so true.
So I've always been a big animal lover. From the time that I was a small child, like, my parents remember that I would bring home strays.
I love that.
So being able to work with animals is, and to help people, that's
the best of both worlds.
Yes.
Okay, fantastic. Now time for favorite things, Devyn. So I'm going to ask you some favorite things because we love to shout out local. Okay. And so we'll start with favorite restaurant.
Ooh, that's going to be Providencia.
Oh, isn't it so good?
I love it.
I love Providencia.
And I just feel like family every time I walk in.
Right. You really do. And they're so nice. They're so kind. It's so pretty. The ambiance is great. The chili rellenos are amazing. Yes. What's your go-to there?
The Wagyu tacos.
Okay. I think that's what Al gets. Yes, the steak tacos. Yes, I love it. Okay, favorite coffee shop?
Favorite coffee shop? I make my own coffee at home, so I really don't.
So your house, which we will not be giving out the address to. That's wonderful.
I make a nice iced coffee with a protein shake.
Oh, good, good. Yeah, got to get that protein. That's right. I love it. Fantastic. Favorite song? You're walking into an event. What song is playing in your head?
Oh, favorite song. I don't know. I mean, I love anything Flatland Calvary.
Yes.
So,
Have you seen them when they've come through here multiple times?
Yes. I actually went to school with Cleto Cordero, the singer. So we were both in the business school around the same time.
That's cool.
And so we were actually both in a co-ed business fraternity. And so we used to go on pledge retreats, and there were like these camping weekends and stuff, and of all the house parties too and everything. But
and they would play at all the house parties.
Yeah, I mean, he would just. So it was before Flatland was really a thing, and so he would just play acoustically. And he's from here, and so I've ran into him several times. Seeing him play with panhandlers, seeing him play at the Rockhound Stadium.
Yes.
So I always try to see if I can't wave and say hi.
Hi, remember me?
Catch up with him.
Of course he does.
And he always does. He's always like, hey, Devyn, you're still here. You're still in Midland. And I'm like, yep, for the foreseeable future.
I love it. And I've heard he's such a nice guy.
He is.
So our daughter did meet him briefly at they were in Lubbock, and he was out somewhere. She did a TikTok with her biggest TikTok that's gone viral. It was with Cleto.
Okay.
And she said he was so nice.
He used to play at the Blue Light all the time whenever they were first getting going, and I was 20, so I couldn't go in because Blue Light was 21 and up, and so I was always so bummed. And then he did like a concert at one of the parks, like I think it was Urbanovsky Park. They did one concert there, and I was finally able to go see them, and that was like the first time I went and actually saw them play as Flatland. Oh wow! And it was just like a really great memory.
I bet you're like, oh my gosh, I was in class with him just a few years ago. That's really cool. So good pick on favorite song. Yes. Anything Flatland. Favorite fun fact about you we would not know by this interview today.
Well, like I said, I'm from the DFW area originally. My parents raised beef cattle. Okay. And very cool. I was not raised in that. They started that when I went off to college. They were bored and wanted something to do, and
I've never heard in all the beef cattle stories that I hear, it's like usually my family passed it on from generation to generation. I've never heard, we're empty nesters, and I love that. See, you're never too late to start something new.
My parents lived in a subdivision. It was kind of like how Greenwood is, like it was like 1 to 3 acre lots, things like that. Well, a Dollar General got put in right outside the subdivision, and my mom goes, "That's it, we're moving. There's too many people. There's now a Dollar General right there." So they started looking at houses, and they found a house on 100 acres, and so they moved out there. It's like 30 minutes north of them. They just moved further out of the Metroplex, and they started with seven pregnant heifers and a bull, and they just kept growing, and so now they're up to about 150. They've got 4 bulls out there, and
very cool.
They pretty much do that. My mom works a remote job. My dad owns his own company. It's a home inspection business in the Metroplex.
And then their side gig is they're raising cattle.
And
my goodness,
he does cattle now, and that got us into it. And so we actually have a place that's about 30 minutes from their place, because then they've since then expanded and gone further, and now they have about 500 acres total that they raise their beef on, or their cattle on. And we've got a small place about 30 minutes from them, and so
I love it.
We just started our own herd. So.
That is so cool. What a fun story. That is a fun fact. Like I said, I've never heard anyone starting at that point in their life, and I love that. And so what's the name of the cattle company that do you say sell the meat then?
Yeah, so they were selling the meat, but now the price of beef is so high and everything. My dad really only butchers them for family and friends and everything. But I did convince him to give me an 1/8 to auction off at the fundraiser. So
Wonderful.
We'll have raffles and silent auctions, and we've got an 1/8 of a side of beef. That'll be ready in September. So we've got that, and then we've also got like a weekend in Cowtown,
fun.
hotel stay, everything, Billy Bob's tickets, things like that.
I love that.
But their ranch is Willis Ranch Meats, and so
That's so fun. I love it. Since you're from the Fort Worth area, a lot of people, listening or, go to the Fort Worth area. Shout out your favorite place to go in Fort Worth.
Oh, Joe T. Garcia's.
Oh, yes. Yes. Okay. Don't get mad at me. I've never been, but our daughters just went the other day, and they were like, "Mom, Dad, this is amazing. How come we haven't been here before?" And I was like, because the line was always so long
But you can get pictures of margaritas while you're in line.
That's what I've heard. And they're over 21. But I did hear that the little birdies, our daughters, told us that. They're like, free pictures of margaritas.
We actually got engaged at Joe T. Garcia's. We were out on one of their patios right in front of one of the fountains. And my husband, he's not into pictures or social media or anything like that, and he was like, "Hey, let's get a picture." Aww. And I'm like thinking he's just trying to be sweet and everything, just like, I'm like, "Oh, you want a picture with me?"
Okay.
And so of course my mom didn't even know, because he talked to my dad that morning, but my dad didn't say anything to my mom. And so then my mom's taking a picture of us, and he just dropped down to one knee and surprised everyone.
I love it. That's so sweet. Well, of course, that's a good favorite to shout out. I love that. Okay, final thing, life hack. What's your favorite life hack? Something that makes your life a little easier and might make ours a little easier after hearing it today.
I love skillet meals, like
Ooh,
just
okay.
making skillet meals. I'm a cast iron girl,
Uh-huh.
and my 12-inch cast iron sits on my stove 24/7. That's its home, is center stove, or like center of the
Yeah.
stove.
I
And
love it.
anything I can make that's one skillet, minimal dishes, done in 20 minutes. And I'm one of those people, I don't follow recipes. I look at recipes and then I just kind of wing it.
Okay.
And so that's my life hack. Is
I love
just
it.
kind of,
Wing
anything
it.
I can make in a skillet.
I love it.
Yeah.
That's a
So-
cooking girl after my own heart. Anything that's easier. And spoken like a true mom, right?
Yes.
Anything that can be made in 20 minutes. Because when those kids are hungry, they're hungry. And they, I don't know what it is, but they want to eat all the time, There's something.
But I'm like, beef, rotisserie chicken, I mean, anything that I can shred or ground or sear or anything.
Throw it in there.
That skillet is my life hack.
I love it. Well, how fun. Well, this has been so fun getting to know you, Devyn. Is there anything coming into today's podcast that you're like, oh, I hope we talk about, maybe we haven't hit on yet today? Because it's been fun getting to know your heart behind Permian Paws in Need and how we can find you. But is there anything else?
Yeah, I think just come on out to Rooster's Backyard on the 15th. We've got the cornhole tournament starting at 3:30. I did forget to mention that the winning team will receive a VIP table for 6 up in the coop.
Oh, okay.
If you're not familiar with Rooster's Backyard, the VIP area is a raised covered pavilion that kind of gives you like a bird's eye view of the stage, and it's got its own bar service, and so you'll win and it's also 21 and up, that area is, but you'll receive a VIP table for 6 plus soft-sided coolers that have some goodies in there, like a Bose speaker, maybe a tumbler,
Ooh, those are
things
good.
like that. So
Those are good gifts.
yeah, so there's two sets of those, so one for each winning team member plus the VIP table. So you'll call your friends and have them come out and
Enjoy a great night in West Texas
Exactly.
under the stars. I
with
love
live
it.
music.
Yeah.
Yeah, that'll start around 7. So cornhole tournament 3:30. Music starts at 7. Logan Ryan band will go on around 9. And we'll have silent auctions and raffles and all sorts of stuff.
Fantastic. Well, thank you for sharing everything that you do. Thank you for doing what you do for our community.
Thank you.
Because every family that you help, you are helping another fellow neighbor and friend and fellow community member, and I think that's fantastic to do what you're doing. I can tell you have a heart for it,
Yes.
and I just love that you're using your gifts there. So thank you
Yes.
for sharing today.
Thank you.
If you would like more information, follow them on Facebook and Instagram, or go online, PermianPawsInNeed.org. Also, mark your calendar right now for August 15th, second annual Bags for Bowls Cornhole Tournament. It's going to be a lot of fun in concert. So thank you for sharing, Devyn. It's such a pleasure to get to know you today.
Thank you
and
for having me on.
I wish you continued success. I think
Thank
it's,
you.
if you want a 50-foot trailer, why not, right? We just got to get you a bigger truck. I don't even know if they make 50-foot trailer. But however big you want this dream to be, I believe in you, and I know you can do it. And
Thank you.
You can help as many as you want to do, and I think that this is so important for our community because we
Yes.
got to take care of our four-legged friends too.
Yes.
All right. Thank you, Devyn.
Thank you so
appreciate
much.
you, and we appreciate each and every one of you listening today. Please like, share, subscribe the Krista Escamilla Show. We are all about sharing the stories of West Texans here, sharing good news, making sure that people know where to go in West Texas for all their needs and help others. And we're just all in this together. So support local, share this, and let's keep the good stuff going. Don't forget to dream big, believe, and never give up. You make it a great day. Thanks for joining us.